I don't know how a chapter frustrates me so much. This was, oh my god, this was such a, I don't want to say like a bad thing. It was just such a like low key shocker, while at the same time, like we knew the bad stuff was coming, but it was a bigger reveal than I thought, and it was a sadder reveal than I got. So as it was, we have Reze. She's like, convincing Denji to leave the Devil Hunters and come hang out with her, come run away. She's like, I have somewhere where if I take you, they'll never find you. The Bureau will never be able to locate you. And this was also like starting like a really good character chapter for Denji. Got some good development, and he's not being really selfish because she's a little bit worried. He's not answering, and he's like, did you actually like me or not? Why does this bother you so much? Denji's like, yeah, of course I do, but he's happy that he's been getting some praise and acknowledgement at work. He's been gaining some new liberties with freedom to do things, he's started to gain like more friends. The person, someone like Aki that he didn't get along with, he's starting to actually like have a act like a normal person to person relationship with. They're starting to be buddies, and now Denji's starting to enjoy work. He's starting to find joys in life and things, related to his like daily going about things, and it's giving him purpose. I think that's what he's looking for. He's finding happiness with others and purpose in life. Because before this, he was just a worker slave. All he did was every day he'd wake up, he'd make money, and then he'd give it away. Well, not really give it away. He's paying back debts, but nothing he ever really did mattered. It was just, he does stuff. He doesn't really get much out of it. He lived in a crappy little shed. Then he have a real bed. He ate like plain bread every day. He did not have much of a life, and now he's starting to find that. And I think that human side to him is really, really like an additional, like steering away from his worry of not having a heart, but also again a very good moment for his character. But after that point, we have Reze who goes and she kisses him, and it's a really nice looking thing. I was like, well, maybe she's gonna try and use this and manipulate him, because you have a dude who, and Denji really wants some poon, but he's not. I don't want to say too gullible, but he's definitely easy to get swayed by chicks. And here, well, except for, but here she's getting full on making out with him, and we know that he's learned that there's difference between like just straight hooking up with someone and having an emotional connection with said person. And Denji definitely does like Reze, but it didn't go the way that I was hoping for. I was hoping like, okay, well maybe he's going to, try and convert her, and we'll maybe get some information out of her. Nope, because after she kisses him, Denji falls down and she's bitten off part of his tongue. And when he goes to try and move at all, he tries to grab his chainsaw to pull the cord. She cuts off his hand, and it looks like things are getting bad for him. She kisses him again with like all the blood coming out of his mouth and nose. So I'm wondering, and she even apologizes that he's in pain. So I'm wondering if she actually does care about him, and it's not just like manipulation. If it's just manipulation, then bitch can go. If she actually does care about him, I'm hoping they can try and convert her somehow, because we haven't gotten that point where you have that bad guy that gets converted over. I mean, it's a pretty standard trope in a lot of series, but I always do like and you have some big bad guy that ends up getting swayed, and they end up joining maybe not entirely the good side. Well, maybe not straight the main guy's team, but the good side. You have Gajio Red Fox. You have Gara. You have, I can't really count Renji from I can't really count Renji since he was part of the Soul Side. Maybe like Grimjow, but you know what I mean. And there's always that guy who's like an enemy, and then after defeat, through some means he's able to they get swayed over to being in the protagonist side, rather. I guess that's better than saying the main team. And when things were getting lost for Denji, and Reze was just reaching out to rip his heart out, here comes Beam being a good boy and saving him, diving right out of the ground, grabbing Denji and running off. And he's saying how now he's noticed this woman's smell, and she is the bomb devil. So I thought the thing on her neck was more of like a collar. I thought it was supposed to be like some little collar design, but that's not the case. When she does it, she pulls it, it's a pin. like, a grenade, and her head explodes, and it's revealed she's the bomb devil. So she's the same version. She's the same kind of weird hybrid that Denji and the Katana Devil are. She's not a fiend. She's not a devil. She's a human that's taken on a devil's heart, because they're the only ones that seemingly have this weird activation for their powers. Denji pulling the cord on his chest, the Katana Devil taking his hand off like a sheath, and this woman, pulling a pin out of her neck like a grenade. So I think it's safe to assume that she's of the same species. Now, the question with that is, for one, are we going to get a reveal on what exactly these people are called? Because, we just been calling them Devilmen. But is this going to reveal, like, information on how they work? I think this is also a good means for her to get converted, because, she's in that same category as the main character. They've got things in common, such as their powers. So I'm hoping it is. I actually really like her design. She's got, like, a dress made out of, like, dynamite, and she's got, like, these gloves that are, cover up her arms. I'm guessing that's more of her arms, but, it looks like she's wearing those long kind of, like, sleeve gloves that women wear out of, like, fuse cord, which is really cool, like blast cord. And, she's got a nuke for a head. I'm wondering how if that's somehow functional. That'd be really crazy. It's like she's fighting and her head falls off, it just makes a huge explosion, and, she moves away. God, it's a really cool design, and you see her moving through explosions, and she's just like standing there next, boom, she's right down there. So we need to have Beam. Either Beam's gonna need to end up being stronger than we think, or he's gonna need to pull Denji's chest cord. I mean, Denji's still got a free hand, but I mean, one of them needs to get it, because Denji also, he's missing a hand now. It got cut off, his tongue got cut off, so he's bleeding profusely. He needs to be able to get that chain pulled, or the cord pulled, and able to activate his chainsaw powers, heal up, and not be in a completely bloodied out and miserable state that he's at right now. So, Beam, good boy, please pull that cord, save the guy, and bring him to safety. We need a safer world for Denji. It's sad because, like, I knew that she was bad news after, obviously, the last chapter. A lot of people were speculating she was going to be, a villain, some form of antagonist. I was really hoping that it would only seem that way, and it was going to be revealed that she was just a normal girl. I think that her being some form, being the same hybrid and being this dangerous is not something that a lot of people suspect. Like, Bomb Devil, like, that's some high level stuff. That's not like, I mean, actually, people are afraid of cars. I was gonna say car devil. I know, maybe like a lower tier fear, like, oh, I'm the devil of birds, or I'm a devil of, I guess knives would still be up there. I'm thinking like concepts and stuff. I don't know. I'm a rock devil or something dumb. This is a bomb devil. I mean, people are afraid of bombs. I mean, you get all these anti-nuke protesters and stuff all the time. So she definitely seems like she's going to be pretty up there. And obviously with the Typhoon Devil, is like talking to her very respectfully. So it's clear that she has some form of high status. But I really wanted this to turn out well for Denji. Oh my god. Man, Fujimoto really just knows how to mess with my head with some of these. I mean, like, it's like, whoa, we know that she's got some suspicious aspects to her, but then it was like kind of deterring away, like, oh no, it's this bad guy, he's going to be the bad guy, and she's going to be used as some form of plot tool to mess with Denji's head, maybe give him some development. But she ended up just giving him development, but she also ended up being a bigger protagonist than that serial killer guy. And with her, I wanted Denji to have a happier time, because he's had such a life, even before the start of the series. It's not like, oh yeah, they had a sad childhood. He had no real childhood. It was just all like depression thinking about it. And his dad killed himself, and then ended up losing Pochita. He's just a worker his whole life, fighting devils barely to get by, and unfortunately just living like a little slave boy. And then he finally got this this job that people think are crappy, and it's obviously very dangerous, but he's found meaning and happiness in it. So, I mean, that's good for him. And I was like, man, we just need to get Denji to keep enjoying life, keep having a good time. And we had this character he was starting to really fall for, and then she ended up being this dangerous. It's frustrating because when it comes to a lot of characters, you want them to be happy. You really like a character. You want good things that come to them, and it's a lot stronger for me for Denji just knowing that one, how he grew up, but two, the tone of the series, and it's a lot darker and more gory than a lot of most shonen, like for real, and that how the author is. And I can't really like give you a good layout. All I can really say is like he's weird because you can't really give him a good layout because he's so unpredictable and strange. The Senin writer that came to Shonen and didn't really abandon that Senin style. I mean, Chainsaw Man does not feel like a shonen at all. But anyway, comment below. Do you like this design? I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, tell me if you like this design. I love this design. So if you don't like this design, whatever. I mean, but at the same time, tell me what you thought about the reveal. Tell me how you think things are, coming up from here. I'm worried for Denji personally. I don't want him to suffer. I also really don't want this Tereze. I was gonna say this woman, don't know her name, unless that's a fake name. Super psycho Russian chick. I don't want her to die. I want her to get converted because I want her character on their side. I like her, and I'd rather her be, some form of romantic rival and, a new addition to the main cast than anything. And I mean, she's a hybrid, so she's somewhat immortal as long as they don't do anything to her heart. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, comment below. Tell me what you thought about the chapter. And I really appreciate you thumbs up the video. Friend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. And that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed. Thank you all for listening. Bye.